Hello world, my name is Max Stein, and gosh darn it, I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I also love video games.
Hey friends, Vinny here, and I love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children, and probably not for anyone with a brain, for that matter. This week, we have these past two episodes have been really good to us. I put that frickin' at the beginning of my I love video games because it's having 2 weeks of video games in a row like this that make me go, God dang it.
God,
man, when they hit so good between Blueprints.
The floodgates, man.
Yeah. It was a hard time.
It was the
for a
week
little
of
bit at the
Shadow
beginning of the year. It
Drops.
was a hard time.
Now my Blueprints book is so thick, I had to add a glossary at the front, marking what notes are on what pages.
But today's games, we are talking about two games that, man, are refreshing entries. Well, RPGs. They're alive and well is what I'm getting at. I'm talking about the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Both games that I've been playing the hell out of.
Nice.
And enjoying. But I digress. Let's go ahead and kick things off the correct way by having Megabuck and the RetroGameTreasure.com take us back to the Retro Zone. Buck?
Let's go back in time. Boy, I do a terrible robot.
Robot, eh?
Robot, eh? We just like robots.
Wait, was that a
around
hint?
here.
Was that a hint to the Retro Zone?
It's always a hint when I
always a
can
hint.
I can remember it to be a hint. So timelines are funny when they bring stuff over from Japan, right? Do you guys remember how popular Transformers were when we were a kid? Especially Benny, yes, and
both our childhoods actually. It was in your childhood, and then it came back around when I was like in middle school with some of those like anime.
It really did.
Well, I was gonna say Transformers Beast Wars. Like that's what. Like when I was a kid, that's what was like, super popular. Yeah.
Last week.
So that was
is
so
this
funny.
Beast Wars? If this is Beast Wars, I'm gonna fucking flip my shit.
It's one of those times when I walk through the warehouse and I'm like, oh, that was an easy week. Now in Japan. In Japan, they would get a lot of this stuff earlier than us. You know, Transformers was an anime in Japan, right? I mean, they got it before us. So it comes over to the States. GoBots came over first, by the way, but then they didn't pick up as much. And then Transformers is a huge hit. So they make an animated movie, right? Did you know that animated movie was made for the States? And so because of that, Japan didn't get the Transformers animated movie until 4 years later than us.
Wow.
Really?
Wow, what a shame.
4 years.
So in the interim, they had to explain why the fuck Optimus Prime was gone without spoiling the movie.
Okay.
Enter Famicom's Transformer Convoy no Nazu.
Whoa.
What?
Go on.
The
Elaborate
fuck
on
is
what we're
this?
watching right now.
This
looks
is
amazing.
1986 Mystery of Convoy, or Convoy if you believe the misspelling. Optimus Prime's name in Japan is Convoy, like a semi-tractor trailer, right? And so they went, he's gone. We don't know where it is. So we got Ultra Magnus has got to go find him. So you play as Ultra Magnus in this game. You can transform between robot and tractor trailer.
I'm about to say Ultra Magnus being a tractor trailer also that hauls cars. Like he has like one of those. He's like one of those 16-wheelers that carries other cars.
Yeah. Right. And so it's an NES game, so it is what it is. But there's a bunch of Decepticon baddies, mainly like a lot of Starscreams and Skywarps and stuff that you fight. The bosses are different. Megatron is a boss for some reason, but again, they hadn't gotten the movie yet, and so you're trying to find Optimus Prime, trying to find Convoy.
Wow.
It seems like there's a couple different. I don't know. I can't from this commercial you've sent us. There's like a couple different not play styles. They all seem to be side scrolling.
Yes, those are the bosses you're seeing at the end. They're almost like a Mega Man Dragon kind of boss.
We're right, they're bigger. Boss. Yes.
But one of the fun things about this game was, and again, kids in Japan didn't really know yet, but if you could find all the hidden letters that spelled Rodimus and then beat the game.
Spoilers.
you could play as Rodimus Prime instead of Ultra Magnus.
Of course, being the Rodimus being the person who takes Optimus Prime's place at the end of the Transformers animated film,
Yes.
which they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know anything. They didn't know anything. It's so messed up.
What have you done, Mac? You just spoiled it for them.
If you haven't seen the Transformers animated movie, you should, because it is amazing.
Oh my lordy, is it ever?
Yeah.
Especially that opening theme. Mwah.
Oh, baby.
I hear it in my dreams.
This
This
is-
is so good.
That song, the Touch by Stan Bush was in Rock Band back in the day.
Yes. Oh
I
my
have
God,
a
I
confession
remember.
to make.
Me and Mac used to rock that.
You've never seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, Raph,
Mac-
I've got
Mac-
it on DVD.
Mac,
That's
you
the
see that
next
little
one that we
button
gotta
right
watch,
next to
yeah.
his name that says boot?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Click
No,
it.
Raph, you will love it. I
No,
mean,
you know
it's-
what? That's just
do you
one more thing we got to watch together because I'll
We could
I'll
probably
get to it
do
later,
an
but we- yeah.
episode on Transformers games.
Raph,
Actually,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
there's been
when
enough.
you hear the opening theme
Yeah.
song to this movie, it's gonna change your life. It's
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh my God.
When you hear the opening to this movie performed live by a band dressed as Transformers at MagFest, it will change your life.
What old timer?
I
Something
know.
you'll never be if you don't get out of here.
Save a
Yeah,
cup.
that sounds like a good time.
Let's
Well,
burn
this
rubber.
This is a very eclectic, cute looking thing that
Mhm.
I have never seen before. Have you personally ever played it? Have you ever popped it
I
in,
have.
given it a whirl?
I
What
have.
do you think?
and
What do you think?
We get it through the warehouse fairly often because it's an uncommon game in Japan, so we can get it a lot. It's a good old run and gun. It is NES Prime memorization.
Pun intended.
Yeah. Kind of like playing like a Russian attacker or a Bionic Commando. You just have to memorize where the enemies are going to be, and then it gets easier. Or Mega Man, it gets easier every time.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, nice. Hey, well, what is this?
Nice.
The past couple of weeks, I think we've had, not the past, but vehicle.
Mhm.
What would you classify this game?
This
is it
falls-
a vehicle shooter?
No, this
Or
falls
no?
more into like the classic action adventure run and gun category. You can still select mecha as a sub class for this in the settings, and don't forget imports is an option as well too. So if you have the ability to play Famicom games, which you can play really easily with an adapter on your NES, you can play Mystery of Convoy.
It's funny because Gundams, Macross, those are vehicles. Transformers, they have souls. Those are
Ooh.
creatures.
Whoa.
I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, are they vehicles? They certainly turn into them, but no, they're Transformers. They're sentient. They
Are they
have
artificial intelligence.
They have
or-
will, I guess.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
know.
the Allspark.
Do they hate on each other? Will they kill each other in a war? Yeah, then
Yes.
they're alive.
Yeah,
If you stab me, do I not bleed blood? Well, nice. Hey, go to www.retrogametreasure.com. Sign up today, and if you have, do you need to have a Famicom to have that? Right? You can't play that on a regular Nintendo.
There's converters. It's actually
oh,
just
I'm
the way
sorry,
the
you said
pinouts
that.
are. Yeah, it's okay. We sell them though. Actually, you can get them on our website or lots of other
Perfect,
places.
cool.
It's a great little thing. It just changes the pinout sizing, so you can play this on either a top loader or a front NES or any NES clone, I guess.
And if you're a Transformers fan, that sounds like a kick-ass game to add to your collection.
Looks cool on the
For
shelf.
sure.
Very nice. Well, we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. We'll be
Yes.
right back.
コンボイが死んだ今この謎を君は攻略できるかファミコンソフトトランスフォーマーコンボイの謎
That was a Patrick Stewart impression because holy
Okay.
shit. Patrick Stewart is in this game. So,
Oh, you didn't
whoa,
know that.
man.
Did you know
I
about-
did not
didn't-
know that.
You didn't know about Sean Bean either?
No, I haven't even gotten that far. So, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. I have never played before Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I've never played any Elder Scrolls game besides Skyrim, to be 100% transparent. So when this just appeared on my Game Pass super early, thank you, honestly, Microsoft, for that.
Truly,
They're
yeah.
even sharing with PlayStation, which is very nice of them.
Giga Chad
I
Todd
was
Howard
like,
strikes again.
I was
It's
like,
true.
what a fantastic reason to dive in. And I messaged these guys on our little Discord like, whoa, yo, check it out. Oblivion Remastered. And then it turns out that Mr. Venacore loves this game. Raph loves this game. Buck,
I had already
I
bought
didn't
it by
ask
the
you.
time you messaged.
That's
What's
so
up?
funny.
Buck,
You
what's
already
your
bought it.
relationship with this game?
I'm the same as you. I was not a huge first-person RPG guy, and so I dabbled in a few of them, but I probably played Skyrim the most.
So it's probably since Buck didn't play it, I didn't play it. But Mr. Venicor, you were the most eager in our Discord. So tell me, what's your do you play a lot of the Elder Scrolls games, or was it just this one? Like, what's your situation?
So I never played Daggerfall, which was like the first it was part
It's the
2
second one, yeah.
technically, but I don't know anybody who played part 1. A lot of people played Daggerfall.
No,
You did play
not
it?
one, yeah. I played Daggerfall,
gotcha.
not one. I've played
Quite
Daggerfall,
a few people
though.
played Daggerfall, and then when Morrowind came out, part 3, that was like the big hit, and Oblivion. Oblivion took it to the next level. I played Oblivion, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online, and then I've got a beat on Elder Scrolls 6 as soon as it comes out. My friend who's a dev at Bethesda, he said he's got a collector's edition with my name on it. I've got my original PS3 copy of my original PS3 copy of Oblivion. They got the Game of the Year edition, and I got to tell you, this, you got to remember, guys, this was an era where when you bought a game, here's my receipt.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
It still it was the time when it still came.
What's
with
that?
A nice full color instruction manual, and this is a thick boy too.
That is a thick boy. I like that.
I mean, it explains like all the different like abilities and what they do. Like, you don't need a game fac. You had the actual like how to do everything, what it means. And this is a 50-page long instruction manual.
Incredible.
Too long to even read on the car ride home.
God, yeah.
I mean, pretty amazing. So if you bought this, a week in advance on a cruise ship, you had the entire week to read that book on the way back home. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize,
The story there.
is that it was Lufia. It wasn't Elder Scrolls. But what a lot of people don't realize is in modern day gaming, we're in a very interesting time, because you get these people who are like in game dev now and making the big hits. And, they ask, what inspired you? What inspired you? Oh, a lot of Skyrim, a lot of, a lot of Fallout 4, a lot Fallout New Vegas. But what a lot of these people don't realize, and they will now because Remastered has come out, is these games were inspired by games that were even further back predecessors. And what Oblivion did and made really, really like, it was, in my opinion, Oblivion's one huge groundbreaking achievement was its AI, the Radiant AI. It's called Radiant AI. You can research this.
Yeah, Raph was
Skyrim
talking
did
about
not.
this earlier today.
Yeah.
Skyrim actually did not have this. Skyrim was almost totally scripted, but you had Radiant AI. Like, I can walk into town in Skyrim and I know exactly what's going to happen. But if you walk into a city in Oblivion, you're going to see like random encounters between characters that I may see and you may never see in your playthrough.
Yeah.
Because they have their own little routes and their own little, idiosyncrasies. And he goes to a bar at this time and eats dinner. And if such and such just happens to be there on the second day of the month, they will have this conversation that you might never hear. And, frickin' Quillweave will go to a different city for a whole month, and you will never complete your quest with her unless you unless you know her like behavior.
It's like all the stuff they promised in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was
Exactly.
in 2006.
Got him.
Yeah, exactly. This was in 06. So, other than the fact that it's just an amazing first-person RPG to begin with, I mean, it has all the elements of success. That AI just really, I think, took it to the next level. And it was the first time for a lot of us that you were able to actually wield magic and like throw a fireball at somebody and have like this just it had a great feeling. I mean, Morrowind had it too. Let's not
Okay, I was wondering. Yeah.
Let's not muddy the water, but Morrowind was not nearly as big of a commercial success as Oblivion was. And Oblivion was
Right.
not as big of a commercial success as Skyrim was.
Right.
So you have like this compounding effect that each generation, you've got the past, players, and then this whole new market of players. And it just starts to have this compounding effect. Elder Scrolls 6 will be bigger than Skyrim ever thought about being.
Absolutely, yeah.
God,
No,
I hope
it's
so.
funny because like in researching this, I was thinking about the Elder Scrolls franchise as a whole
Mm.
and how Daggerfall. I mean, to this day, honestly, like I still recommend Daggerfall to people because of like it's dated, sure, but it's an experience. It's an interesting experience to kind of to play through. It's got like heavy RPG elements, but then Morrowind came in and just like introduced this whole funky, crazy ass world with fucking mushrooms everywhere and people riding on giant insects and shit. But then Oblivion comes along and it takes that like crazy intense RPG aspects of it, like the very deep mechanics that Morrowind had, but then also made them kind of accessible. And I think a lot of that is lost in Skyrim. Like Skyrim, like kind of got rid of a lot of the RPG elements, made it more accessible. But Morrowind is this nice even ground in between. I'm sorry, Oblivion is this nice like middle ground between Morrowind
I agree with
and
you,
Skyrim.
100%.
Right. And I mean, Skyrim got lucky that it came out right when Game of Thrones was getting really popular. And so it had dragons and it had kind of like this Game of Thrones aesthetic.
That makes a lot
and
more
so,
sense.
Yeah, that's why it was so
That
popular.
does.
I didn't
really,
think about the timing there.
Right.
But
I
you
never thought
know,
about that either.
Skyrim's success is going to make Oblivion or Elder Scrolls 6 like this phenomenon once it comes out, honestly.
The part of the charm of Oblivion, and the people who were fans of the classic Oblivion game will totally agree. And the day it dropped was the day I heard about it. So my dev friend just happened to be online playing it on Steam, and he saw me boot it up and he sent me a message, and I was like, I can't believe it. And he goes, oh man, I wanted to tell so many people about this. It was so cool watching it come together.
Awesome,
Since 2021.
Yeah.
He had to keep his mouth shut about this.
Yeah, this has been being teased for a hot second.
So what I asked him was, I said, look, I haven't gotten a chance to get past the tutorial yet. Just simple yes or no. Is the jank intact?
Good question. Good.
Because
And
Oblivion is not Oblivion without the jank, and he
I don't think any
assured
Bethesda
me
game is a Bethesda game without the jank. To clarify,
Oblivion was a totally different level, bro. And you will find this out. He assured me wholeheartedly the jank is still intact, and I'm starting to see it already. It's like, yes,
There's
The,
just part of the charm, right?
And
Yeah,
when
right,
I say
yeah.
that, guys, for those listening, for everyone listening, when I say that, what I mean is the silly stuff that happens in the game that shouldn't actually be happening in the game. I was in a cave today and I heard this little sound, this rattling sound, like I'm like, what in the world is that? What am I about to? It was this little skull that was like halfway clipping through the bottom of a campfire,
Right.
making this reverberating, like constantly back and forth, knocking around sound
Bob
that
the
filled the
Skull
whole
from
cavern.
Dresden.
it's a
It's
Bethesda
great.
classic.
Fantastic. I mean, you can look up the meme. I mean, just look up GIFs on your phone of like Oblivion meme, and you'll see like one of the main characters talking to the protagonist, and then 2 seconds later he turns around and walks straight off a cliff and dies. That's not supposed to
No,
happen.
But you know what? It
That
is.
is-
It totally is.
That honestly
now-
gets to the point for me of what makes this game good still when 2020. Because like, okay, so just to clarify, if you haven't touched it at all, if you don't know what we're talking about at all, maybe you just own a Switch. I don't know. So they gave this game a graphical overhaul. They gave it some quality of life improvements. They allow you to sprint
But
now,
not too
which
much.
apparently was not in the game before. But like Vinny said, I was impressed how they were able to graphically overhaul the game without compromising the style that the original game had.
Mm.
I'm looking at you, Halo Master Chief Collection,
Womp womp.
right?
It
So it's
can
just
be
like
done.
it comes out, and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's just gonna be like take all the shit from Skyrim and poop it in there from the many Skyrim HD remasters that we've done, pop those, but it's like nope. It's just like I was like, is it gonna be all gray? And it's like, is it good? No, it's red and brown and much more lush. It feels completely different.
Yeah.
You start the game off by basically going to hell. I was like, this is cool, and then you fight a bunch of demons in hell and rescue this guy from hell. And well, honestly, the very first thing that I said was, "Holy fuck, that is Patrick Stewart," because
Yeah,
Patrick
right.
Stewart is the voice of
Mhm.
the emperor of the land. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the kingdom. But
Tamriel.
he
Cyrodiil.
This is a
Cyrodiil,
star-studded
he
cast. I want to say.
crushes it with his lines. Like, he does such an excellent job of like introducing you to the game. And I'm gonna be honest, I like Skyrim, I guess, more because I played it more. I don't know, but the cold open of Skyrim is a little old. You know what I mean? I kind of liked the action Patrick Stewart being like, "Oh, quick, you're the chosen one. You have to come this way. My name is this." And and I was just like, "Whoa, cool." Like, it was just like immediately Patrick Stewart is like telling me I'm a hero. I'm on board. This is really
You
good.
know what's cool, and I'm with you, Mac, because I like the classical, like slightly campy, very simple, storyline, like good and evil. I like a classic good and evil story. So it was so cool that we got Lunar last week, and then we got Oblivion this week, because those are two very like nice, just straight up good versus evil kind of games. And I even saw an interview, not to get off topic, but with one of the original devs of Lunar talking about, yes, the story may feel a little bit dated, but I think you will enjoy, all the love that was put into this game. And Oblivion, not so much. Oblivion still has very much of a, the player can control everything and do, anything in any order that they want to. It's a true sandbox RPG, one of the best. The graphical overhauls are stellar, and
Really good looking.
I continue to be just delighted by what I'm seeing.
I was watching him play on there, and it was literally like an orc character on screen. I'm like, that's the most beautiful, ugly thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. What I meant before I got off on the tangent of what got updated, what I meant to say is that the thing that they didn't have to update, apparently, that makes these Elder Scrolls games great, and what has to contribute to that clipping, is just the fact that just like everything you see is there. And playing this game, I went and going, I like Skyrim, but this is the one before Skyrim. And then it was just like Venacor said, where it's like, oh shit, turns out they were doing Skyrim before Skyrim. Like, they were already doing this shit. And then I was playing it going, man, this is really scratching an itch that I didn't know I had, which is I want to play a fantasy RPG where everything is like real. Like, that plate, I can touch it, and this fucking bucket, I can touch it, quote unquote. I can pick it up, look at it. I could put it in my pocket if I fucking wanted to. Like, it's just like, I don't know. As soon as you start playing, a guy spawns and he jumps you, and you fucking kill him with a club, and then I immediately loot his body, take all his clothes, put him on, and take all his, and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm back, baby. Like, we're fighting. This is what this game is. Like, it never gets old.
There's been a lot of that going around on X and a lot of other places of people that always shit on the prior games because they only played Skyrim, and then they played this and went, oh, I understand now.
Yeah. Right. I just didn't know.
This game is just full of so many like emergent story. Like, so apparently all the DLCs are added into this. Like, they're all in there. All DLCs are all in this. So my experience with playing the OG Oblivion is that I, wandering through the countryside, ended up finding a random portal, and I ended up in the Shivering Isles, and I proceeded to spend the next 40 fucking hours in a place that had nothing to do with the main story. And yeah, dude, that's fucking Oblivion right there, man.
God,
it's just
Raph,
like
that
you can
expansion.
go off. That expansion's amazing. Yeah. Like, it's a whole new world with new politics. You're fucking dealing with, like, it's like Alice in Wonderland, like, straight up, like, literally Alice in Wonderland is what it is. But man, that's Oblivion though. You just get lost on a tangent and find something fucking amazing.
I wanted to ask you two, Raph and Venny, are there any moments that you are excited to see happen in this remaster, like upon this playthrough? Like, are there any moments? And obviously it's like it's a 20-year-old game, so spoilers, you know what I mean? They're going to mention maybe moments that they want to see done in this new graphical overhaul or whatever.
I kind of experienced.
Go first, Raph.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of experienced it right at the beginning. The first time that I saw an Oblivion gate, like the very first moment you crest the hill to Kvatch and you see that Oblivion gate, it looks cool in OG Oblivion, but in this, whoa. Yeah, dude, like, you walk up to that thing, it's fucking glowing. Like, and as you're approaching the top of the hill, the sky starts turning red. There's like lightning bolts. You see ash in the air, and then you
Yeah.
crest the hill and you see the flaming gate, and then you walk up to the gate and you're looking up at it and you see hell beyond it, and then just walk through it, and that's fucking amazing, dude.
And then you smash a demon's head with a hammer, and you're like,
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
this. This
Yes.
is amazing.
Hell yeah.
This is so cool. Benny?
He's not exaggerating at all. It is that good. So the moment that I'm really waiting for, the ending of this game,
yeah,
the
yeah.
ending sequence, like the final battle, is spectacularly cool. Just
Mm.
with everything happening around you, it's one of the coolest final battles I've ever seen in any video game. And just thinking about it in my brain of, oh, how are they going to do that guy? And when they have all the in the sky, I'm just really, really looking forward to that, because if you've never seen the final battle in Oblivion, God, you are in for a treat. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
So, so if you're like me and you've never played these, but you played Skyrim, man, like we've been saying, you will jump right in and go, oh shit, it's not that far off. You switch items and weapons basically the same way. You level up basically the same way. You just get more awesome storyline, which I, as a person who played Skyrim, also wanted to mention that it was cool that there is a through line to all of this. Like immediately, the first thing that happens is like you're helping the blades, and I was like, oh shit, I know the blades from Skyrim. Those are the guys with the katanas, and then one of them dies, and you take his katana, and you're like, oh, I was like, this, cool.
There's several references in Skyrim to the Oblivion Crisis. Like there's a whole like temple. There's actually a museum to Mehrunes Dagon, like about Mehrunes Dagon in Skyrim, in one of the cities there. It was kind of cool.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's I mean, it takes place like 200 years after Oblivion. So it's
right.
like,
that's why it's like, I just remember little bits and pieces of these remnants,
lore,
and they're like, because the lady says, oh, it's an ancient thing. The blades, it's an ancient thing. It's an ancient thing. And oh shit, here it is. It's cool. Right. It's Patrick Stewart. Oh shit. Let's go.
I want to give a quick tip to new players to this game. If you've never played Oblivion, you don't know this. So if this is your first time going through, listen to what I'm about to say very carefully. Everything in that game scales with your level. And I mean everything. Every single thing scales to whatever the player's level is at the time. Not like Morrowind, not like Skyrim. It scales to you no matter what. So you're going to, if you start really getting into this game, you're going to see all these YouTube videos and these content creators and blah, blah, blah about, oh, get this amazing overpowered thing in the very first, hour of the game. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them, because if you go and get that item when you're level 2, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
Later, right. It's going to screw up
if
your...
I did hear they fix some of the scaling problems, because there was an issue where because I've heard obviously OG Oblivion, if you like, let's say you level up athleticism just by fucking running around, then everything else levels up, and then it makes it much harder. But I hear they fixed this issue. I don't know exactly how, but I've heard they fixed it in the remaster. I'm hoping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that is the case, then we'll probably be in a little bit better place, because it can get a little out of control sometimes. Yeah. If you accidentally level a lot of mundane stats and end up leveling up, and then your combat stats are crap, you're going to get crushed. But the magic items and armor and weapons that you find will also start to scale with your level. And if that is still the same, don't be listening to the YouTube content creators and getting the Uber whatever at level 1, because it will be garbage, and it will always be garbage, and you will never be able to get it again. Just a little tip for the new players. Just be careful.
That's great. That's something people might not be used to, because Skyrim is not a particularly difficult game. Oblivion's kind of
hard.
It does feel a lot more, like you said, RPG-y.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Buckles watched me play earlier. I found this unicorn and I accidentally smacked it on the ass when I was trying to kill a minotaur. It followed me all the way back to the Imperial City, trying to gore me with its horn.
Funny. And then what's a minotaur doing in the middle of the forest? Minotaur of the Grove. Oh, he probably belongs here.
I'm in the Grove. Yeah. I went inside, came back out, it de-aggroed on me, and I was able to ride the unicorn.
Ride the unicorn.
So
that's fantastic segue, actually, because this game was co-developed by Virtuos Paris with Bethesda, which is a French studio. And we're going to take a quick... They mostly specialize in porting AAA video games. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about another French studio's game that blew my socks off. We'll be right back.
This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the third era and the final hours of my life.
Wee, gentlemen, ho ho ho. I won't put on
Wee
the
wee,
stop
poo
hat for this
poo, ha ha.
because I haven't gotten far enough to consider this game a work of art. But I'll say this: Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is very good and very French. So man, me and Raph have both been playing it. Technical notes about Clair Obscur. All right, released just the other day as of this recording, 4/24/25 for the PS5, Windows, Xbox. Is developed by this company called Sandfall Interactive, which is a French developing studio. This is their first video game.
Wow.
Crazy.
Whoa.
It's published by Kepler Interactive, who they did Sifu, Scorn, Chia, Flintlock, and a couple
okay.
other things. So stuff you heard of before.
Cool.
This game sold 500,000 units on its release day.
Day one.
This studio has never released
Amazing.
a video game before, and it's currently sitting at a 92 on Metacritic and is now the highest rated game of the year. Blueprints has since dropped down to number 9. But man, this game. I am so happy that the RPG genre is not dead.
Mhm.
I was doing some research about this game, and I pulled a quote from Wikipedia that just like warmed my heart and made me go, I bet Buck would like to hear this as well. According to the CEO of creative director Guillaume Brioche, it's a French name.
Great job.
One of the goals of Clair Obscur was to create a high-fidelity turn-based RPG, which he felt has been neglected by the AAA video game space.
You know what's funny? Just looking at this game, I haven't played it yet because I'd like to see it. So I'd like to hear a lot from you guys. But I have been watching people play it, and it has really hard given me some Lost Odyssey vibes.
Yep, that's my very first note. I was like, "Whoa, this is Lost Odyssey. This is
Yeah.
whoa." Yeah, according to Broche, Clair Obscur takes inspiration from Japanese role-playing games, noting Final Fantasy and Persona specifically, which we'll get further into in just a moment because it absolutely cops the steez. I'm just going to get right into the personal notes of this game because like it's an RPG. So it functions, it's turn-based RPG with 3-person party. If you understand what I just said, then you understand how that functions. Outside of that, mechanically speaking, it's just really solid. It has like live action combat in its turn-based combat, a la Paper Mario, or
okay.
Sea
in
of
my
Stars,
opinion,
yeah.
a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Sea of Stars has a lot of that.
right. But this one reminds me less of Sea of Stars because Sea of Stars didn't have prompts. It was just cool interactions.
True.
This one is a lot more like Legend of Dragoon. Where
Oh,
like
okay.
in Legend
Yeah.
of Dragoon, like the X would come
Yeah.
swooping in, and you had to hit it when it hit in the precise alignment with the X that was on the screen.
Right.
In this game, it's a QuickTime like sphere appears on the screen somewhere amongst the animation, and all the different moves, their QuickTime events will appear at different areas. So you have to sort of like remember where you need to train your eyes to be. And then the way that you like do them is just like it'll start like on the top of the like the apex of the ring and spin all the way around clockwise. And when it gets to an area that is colored different, you hit the X button. And if you land it in that area, you get a critical hit. And if you just land it anywhere in the circle, you just get like the bonus that applies with that, which will be like sometimes like an extra hit, or it applies poison damage or whatever. But all the characters have different systems is my favorite thing
Wow.
about how the gameplay actually mechanically works. Like it's not just like everyone has an MP pool and you can learn spells and you can like no, it's more like this character switches between stances, and all of her skills have a secondary function where they switch between an offensive, a defensive stance, and like a crazy stance. And this guy has like an electric bar that slowly charges up when you use specific types of skills. And then when the bar is all the way full, you can unleash this like crazy power. And then meanwhile, this lady is like a mage who like has these like elemental like what are they? I can't remember, but it's like elemental points essentially like added to this like pool of points that she uses that can affect other spells she uses in the future. And so there's a really fun strategic like thinking in like, how do I get their mechanics to mesh with one another? Not only just like the spells that you learn in the spell trees for each character. So just really engaging systems that I normally am not the hugest fan of those live action, like,
Right.
but this one does it just, I don't know, in a way that's really good. It does it on offense and defense. Like when you're on defense, there's like a function to either choose to dodge or parry a move.
Yeah.
And normally, like I said, I don't like learning this, but it's pretty forgiving from what I've seen. And if you're like, I just go with the dodge because it's easier, unless like it's a particularly slow enemy that I am confident in. But it's good. And not only that, it's just like when you get these dodges done, you'll get this like these ability points, which you have to like balance in order to do certain moves. There's a lot of systems in play is what I'm getting at, and they're all quite good. Would you agree, Raph? I mean, you found the combat to be also quite addictive.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. I really wish I was better at parrying in this game, because the parry is actually, if you parry every hit in an attack sequence, then you get this like retaliatory attack that like does a huge amount of damage. It's fantastic. But I love just everything about the combat, from like the layout of the menu. It feels like I'm playing Persona. It has like the very same
it
menu
swoops
layout.
in literally the same exact way and then ends on a Dutch tilt, and then like the menu options are protruding from your character in the same spiky fashion.
Everyone wants to steal that now
wow.
because it was such a good idea.
You even have like a shoot mechanic where in combat where you can actually aim your gun physically. It's not like you hit shoot and
I saw that.
You actually aim the gun and you can actually hit weak spots on the enemies. Which is cool.
They were playing mouse and keyboard for that exact reason, because they didn't want to do that they didn't want to do it on a controller.
There's like there's some enemies that are flying and you can only hit them with your gun, and then there's skills that you can get that make your gun do different extra things. The way you get skills in this game kind of reminds me of like Final Fantasy. It's like a cross between Final Fantasy 6 and 7 and maybe Shin Megami Tensei, where it's just like you get these like tokens that you like equip on yourself that
you absorb it from something.
Exactly. And like while you have it on, it gives you that thing and a stat bonus.
Right.
And then once you've like won enough battles with it, you master it, but then everyone can like use these other pool of points that you have to apply that thing, whether they're the ones who leveled it up or not, and whether someone has it on or not. So there's a cool, more like there's a bunch of them that I found, even only being like 7 hours in, and they'll be like, all right, this one gives you critical hit and it gives you speed. And also it teaches you the thing that makes it to where your gun has a 20% chance to burn the opponents when you shoot them with it. If you win 4 battles with it, you can spend 4 of your blank points to like assign that to one of your guys sort of like permanently. Wow. It's very cool and it's just, again, another really good system where I was just like, oh man, this is like very Japanese. I was like, this is reminding me of like a good Final Fantasy game. I'm impressed, because that leads me to the next thing, which is the style of this game, though. Like it's the storyline and what is going on is super different, is like the best word that I can say, honestly.
European?
Like,
you said French in a really weird way.
It's very French. It's like graphically, it looks like The Last of Us, or it looks like Uncharted. Like everyone's super realistic, not stylized at all. Like AAA looking pretty much game or whatever. When you're running around in the open world map, like holy shit, you are zooming. Like I booted the game up and I was like, oh, it's an action game, and it wasn't until I got into the first combat to go, oh shit, it's a turn-based game. But man, the give a shit factor that Buck is always talking about in RPGs, about whether I'm going to give a shit, is there in this game, man.
Sweet.
Like okay, I'm going to
the
preface
title card
this.
even shows up.
I was about to say, there it is very rare that I would say that if something happens in the first 30 minutes of something that is longer than an hour and a half, that this is a spoiler, right? Because it'd be like, it's the beginning of the movie, it's the beginning of the game, whatever. But I will say, I'm about to describe the plot to this game. And if you haven't played this game, you should skip forward 3 minutes until I'm going to put it until I am done speaking, because I'm going to explain the game's plot, and if it's so good when it happens to you. So this game, like, it begins and you are this guy in like what looks like a crazy post-apocalyptic France. Like, the very first thing you see is the Eiffel Tower, but it's like all crazy looking.
It's like
And
melted
then
and fleshy.
you're in the streets of France, and everyone's like, there's a festival going on, and everyone's wearing flowers, and you meet up with your girlfriend, and she's like happy to see you, but also sad because it's her birthday. And you're like, what's up? And then everyone that you meet is like, oh, hey, happy Gorsh Gosh or whatever. Like, and they're like, oh yeah, happy Gorsh Gosh to you. Another one. And you're like, okay, what's happening? And then they're like, oh, your girlfriend's flowers, I didn't know, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, it's fine, it happens to all of us. And then it's just like, okay. And you're continuing, and you're like wondering what is going on.
Yeah.
And oh, Benny wants to avoid spoilers. That's great. So push comes to shove, and you get to the end of this festival thing, and you and your girlfriend are like looking out into the ocean, and there is this massive obelisk that has the number 34 on the side of it in massive text. And there is a huge creature, like a massive giant, that is like in the fetal position by this mountain. And then they're like, oh, it's Gorsh Gosh time. And then that creature wakes up and rubs its hand over the large 34. And the large 34 becomes a 33. And then a bunch of people in the town just begin disintegrating, like Avengers Endgame style, including your girlfriend, who just turned 33. And so it's just like, what?
They
And then
into flower petals.
You are told that you are the leader of Expedition 33. So the plot of this game revolves around that thing happens every year. Every year that number goes down by 1, and everyone who is the age of the number that is written on the side of the mountain goes away. And then a team of expeditionists go out to that island in an attempt to figure out what the fuck is happening, like what that creature is and how they can stop it. So you, since the number just turned into 33, you, who is playing a guy who is 32 years old, are the leader of Expedition 33, and you sail to that island, and that is where the game starts. Hold on, I'm gonna bring Vinny back in here.
Yeah. Might want to message him.
Thumbs up, Vinny. You're good to come back in.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah.
So that
nothing weird happened in here.
That is how that game starts.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So then from there, you go on this island and you interact with like all sorts of like Miyazaki, Dark Souls looking ass creatures that'll be just like a pair of hands that like have a set of legs underneath them, and like weird
Silent Hill shit.
Giant. I thought of just a giant mime. This game is so fucking French. Just a straight up like white painted face, red beret, like wooden mime.
Who hasn't wanted to beat the shit out of a mime at some point in their life? Right?
Apparently, there's an achievement for it that I saw on my Xbox. I was like, oh, and turns out they're really hard. It kicked my ass. It absolutely beat my ass. I couldn't.
So the cactuars of this game are mimes.
There's so many things that are Final Fantasy adjacent like that. Like I found there's like I found the Ewoks of the game. Basically, they're like little gnomes that are like made out of paintbrushes, which is the most Frenchest shit ever. And then they all speak in like garbled like Animal Crossing style French. So they're just like, it's just so. It just makes me laugh every time. I'm just like, this game is so ridiculous.
They look like Koroks. Koroks from,
they do look like Koroks.
Right.
That's a good comparison.
You're what the French call les incompetents.
They all have like extremely deadpan French senses of humor. I'm at like a Coliseum right now, and I was like talking to one of the characters as a doctor, and he's huge. He's this big swollen one. He's like way bigger than all the rest of them. And my character was just like, "Hey, why are you like so big?" And he's like, "Oh, because I ate all the blah blah blah, like the monsters in the game." He's like, "I ate a bunch of monsters." And then my character's like, "Oh, really?" And he goes, "No, I have a horribly debilitating bone disease where my bones won't stop growing and they press against the barrier of my flesh and it causes me excruciating pain." Just like,
Very French.
okay,
Very French.
What the fuck is this?
Wait,
game?
which one is it?
It's incredible. It's so good. I was like, this is the Frenchest RPG in storyline and in tone, but then the gameplay is very Japanese. I mean, it's very traditional. It's very engaging. It's an eclectic mix that is like got me hooked. And right, Raph,
Yeah.
would you agree?
No,
I know you've played a
100%,
little bit
dude.
less than I have, and I've only played like 7 or 8 hours.
I'm
but
so excited to keep playing this game. I mean, like that. I'm not to get into spoiler territory, but like that opening sequence did make me fucking like I almost straight up started crying. Just like it's so good. The story is so terrifying and thought provoking, and like it just looks so gorgeous too. Like to see an RPG like this in like graphical fidelity that looks photorealistic. You know, it's incredible.
That's
what's
cool.
that
That's
movie
where we're going, man.
with
Yeah.
Natalie Portman? I always for Annihilation.
And yes,
You
it
guys
does
probably
remind
Star
me
Wars
of
Episode
Annihilation,
1.
yeah.
There's this movie called Annihilation about
Yeah.
these like scientists that go into this zone where stuff is happening, and
Yeah.
it's very similar to that, where like everything is just like fucked up, and you're just like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, the plot and
Um,
aesthetics
so-
really do remind me of of
Yeah.
Annihilation. Honestly, fucking beautiful.
I was so pleased that someone is still willing to make Lost Odyssey and say,
Damn
let's
right.
make a turn-based RPG that is serious and looks good.
Hmm.
You know, because I said to Raph, I said, I love an 8-bit RPG, but you
Mhm.
watch Kefka blow up the world in 8-bit and you go, okay, that's cute. But in this, you watch this guy get his head cut off as soon as they land on the beach, and you're just like, holy shit. Like that guy just got his head cut off like by a monster, and then everyone just like begins panicking. And it was just like, this is like The Last of Us. This is horrifying. This is
Yeah.
crazy. It's such a weird mix. I'm going to try to keep playing. I don't know how long it is. I haven't looked it up.
How Long to Beat doesn't even have it yet, so it's too new.
Wow.
People haven't
Shit.
beat it yet.
I hope
Maybe
it's
after
not
this
too long
recording,
because I
it'll
want to
update.
be able to beat it. And
No,
it's
you
so
want it
hard to
No,
play
you
games
want it
for
to be at
12
least 40, 50, 60 hours long, and then another 30 hours of bonus content in case you really love it that much.
It feels like it would be based on, these guys seem to know what they're doing as
like
far as
Metaphor
making an RPG.
Fantasio, when you did a bunch of the extra stuff and it ended up being like 80 plus hours easy.
Holy smokes!
It's
Yeah.
just it's mechanically deep, and it's also deep in its storytelling and the way that it like. I mean, no game that I've played in the last few years has really like drawn me into its central mystery like so easily
go.
within the
Yes.
first like 30 minutes
It's
of the game.
do I give a shit
Right.
factor. Do
Yeah,
I give a shit
truly.
about these characters? Do I give a shit about this story? That's what makes it really
The
good.
more
RPG.
I play, the more I want to know. Absolutely.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
good.
It does it at
That's
like
good.
a cinematic quality level where
It
you're really
does.
like,
It feels like a film.
like
Yeah, it really
leaning
does,
in,
yeah.
like, what the fuck?
And it looks like it's got some good Easter eggs.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Buck
Get
just
out of my
shared with us
swamp,
the
donkey.
Shrek. It's gotta be a coincidence, I hope. Or
No,
not.
no, it's got to
Oh,
be on
it's not.
purpose. It's
Yeah.
it's got to be
Um,
on purpose.
Yeah. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I'm not gonna lie, I only gave it a chance because the besties were talking about it, and I was like, oh shit, okay, because I looked at the artwork and I was like, if this is just another God of War clone, like I don't want
Right.
to play it. You know what I mean? Because that seems like whenever a game looks this good, it's gonna be an action RPG.
Right.
Nope. It looks this good, and it's a turn-based RPG, baby.
Again, you brought up Lost Odyssey, but that game, that was in the 360s, the Xbox 360s generation, and it was 5 discs.
Thankfully, this is none for me. But hey, go and download it, buy it, whatever you got to do. I would say if you're an RPG fan, if you are a turn-based RPG fan, not like straight up, I think you will like this game. I really, really, really do. Buck, I really think you will like this game.
That's cool.
I agree.
I really want to play it, but I need to finish Blueprint.
There's so many
I
games,
need
yeah.
to
That's
finish.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
on a
there's-
fucking mission, bro.
I love it though. I love
Yeah.
it so much.
Speaking of which, I'm sure we're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to do our What Else You Got and finish up our episode. See you on the other side.
know it seems absurd to offer Oblivion as recompense, but she'll never paint again.
What else you got, gentlemen, for me this week? The What Else You Got, the segment of our show where we can bring to the table anything, video game or otherwise. This week, I fucking did it, Buck.
Oh.
I started a subscription to Retro Crush on Amazon so that I could show Raph the Fatal Fury motion picture movies.
Nice.
And we had such a good time. Those movies
Feel the storm.
Feel the storm is coming.
Too strong.
Dude, we watched both of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know there's 3, but we watched the second one and the third one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Um,
the first one, give or take.
the
Yeah,
first one,
I feel you.
And first of all, you were right. The third one is better.
Yes. It
I
is.
had nostalgia goggles on, thinking the second one was better, but no, it is in fact the third one that
Going with
is.
Laucorn and the Armor of Mars and all
Yes,
that. Yeah.
Third one
yes, it
slaps,
has
dude.
slightly less
Yeah.
cameos in it, but
Right.
it looks so much better.
Yeah.
And the Sakuga is better, and you get more Joe Higashi fights, and you still get Kim Kafwan getting his ass absolutely handed to him,
Dude,
which is incredible.
Not knowing you're going to talk about this at all, and me and Benny were playing games like an hour ago, and we're literally playing games, and he's doing something, and some guy in Oblivion fell over, and I went, thought he was drunk just a minute ago, or something like that. And he's like, "That's Fatal Fury." Like, yeah, that's Fatal Fury.
We were watching with Raph, and I was like, "Now you understand all these Bogard, like all the
Strong, too strong.
It's like watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and finally saying, "Oh my god, I understand what all those memes
Yes,
are."
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Was it Lawrence Blood
Awesome.
that he's strong, too strong? Since
Yeah,
we watched
that's
him
it.
so close in proximity, I didn't realize that he says that in both movies. Did you guys realize that?
No, I did not.
No.
He says it in
He
both
says
of
he's
them.
strong,
That's
too
funny.
strong in both movies.
That's
in
funny.
one movie he's referring to
Amazing.
Andy, and the other movie he's referring to that water lady who is like the lackey of
Pawnee.
Laucorn, the lady who
Yeah.
controls the water. She
Right.
Yeah.
slams him with a giant pillar of water, and he goes, this junk. And I was like, hey, this fucking guy loves saying that. I was like, I never noticed that before.
That's pretty funny. Probably a line when he loses a match.
Yeah,
You know, it might be. Man, you enjoyed them, yes, Raph?
Oh, dude, yeah, I fucking
Okay.
love these movies. I had a
Because
great
I'm about to
time.
say, when I watched the first fight with Kim Kafwan and Terry, because we watched the second one first, I cried because
It's
I was
good.
just
It's a
like,
good
it
fight.
reminded me of my childhood. I was talking to my mom recently, and she was like, "Why do you like fighting so much in pugilism? You do all this boxing and all the taekwondo and da da da." And I was like, I don't know. And then I watched the fight with Kim Kafwan, and they just like
Andy
put a
Bogart.
bunch of money into that fight scene, which happens immediately,
Yeah.
and it's just like I had forgotten how like. The way that it's not Dragon Ball Z where they're like zipping and zapping and like you watch Terry Bogard like catch a kick like with his guard like, and then he like eats one in the stomach, and then he like jumps backwards and like squares up, and I was just like, this is awesome. Like this shit slaps so fucking hard. It was the music is like all SNK, like as you'd expect, like it's like city pop adjacent, like funk music, like so fucking good. I don't know. I was so pleased that they held up. I was like, I love them both. I love Krauser. I love the flashbacks with him and his dad, and him killing his dad, and him fucking being Geese's cousin or whatever, and all this
whatever
extra.
it is,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. It was good. We watched them both. We pulled the trigger, and we had a fun time.
So 80s, 90s anime has that right amount of jank, but the animation is so good that you're along for the ride.
That one,
Really,
the
truly
third
was,
one,
yeah.
there'd be moments where Terry's face would just be like,
Yes.
for like a second,
Yeah.
and it was just like, but then he would like throw a punch, and he would look incredible, and it was like, oh shit, yeah.
Kim is cross-eyed quite a bit in that movie.
Yeah. I love that scene where he's just getting his ass handed to him, and his kids are watching, and then Terry's like, should I help him? And then Joe's like, no, his kids are watching.
That's
Just let him
good.
get his ass kicked.
It's good.
It's really good. It's a
They're
good
going to
movie.
learn something.
Buck, what
Yeah.
else have you got for us this week?
Guess who's got 2 thumbs and pre-ordered a Switch 2?
What?
Nice,
You
dude.
managed to get in there?
Heck
I
yeah.
got it. I know I stayed up and Princess M helped me, and no, that was a fucking clusterfuck. But I got
Jeez.
a hot tip from a listener out there when they went live on Walmart's website again, and I was able to pre-order one. So I'm pretty excited
Fantastic.
about that. That's pretty cool,
It's
right?
too overpriced.
Fantastic,
No
dude.
one will buy that.
Yeah,
That's
right.
too expensive, and they're
Yeah.
gone.
You
And
knew that was going to happen. Yeah. And, so, and
yeah.
it's between the people that really want it and the people that weren't sure if they wanted it and the people trying to scalp it. It's like, they're going to disappear, right?
Yeah.
But I got the one that didn't have any of the digital crap because I'd rather pay extra to get the physical stuff there too. Speaking of physical stuff, look what came in the mail today.
Hell
My
yeah.
Lunar
Look
Remastered
at
for the
that.
Switch.
It's beautiful.
Yahoo.
Same thing. I was able to get a first run one that isn't at a scalper price at MSRP. That was super awesome.
Will you play a
Some-
digital copy? Or are you going to play that one? Or you open that one?
I haven't decided yet. I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to get a PS4 copy, not a Switch, but the PS4 for first run sold out so quickly that I had to get a Switch one. You can only get Xbox ones right now. But
PS4
hopefully
or 5?
it's PS4 because it plays on
Oh.
both. So I mean, it's Lunar, so it's
Right, oh, yeah,
What
okay,
are
I
they going to
understand.
change about it, right? But something that took a little longer to get here also came in, and that is turn on the video, kids, because this big old chonker came in.
Oh,
hell
yeah. Shit,
right.
that box is gorgeous.
It's my big old
It
that
is.
took a minute.
clock tower. They take forever. I don't like buying stuff
Whoa.
from limited run, but it's my special edition clock tower rewind for the Switch.
That's
Nice, guys.
wild. Wow, that took a lot.
Yeah, they
'cause
take
I-
they take forever with this
Holy
stuff. But
shit.
yeah.
art on the cover of that box is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's the remaster.
That
It's
is
the rewind
great,
one. They're
yeah,
really good.
wow.
Has
My
the
God.
game clock tower statuette, soundtrack, poster, acrylic standee, Dan Barrow stress ball. If you know stress ball. Enamel pin, a demon idol keychain, and sheet of stickers.
Sheet of stickers.
Yeah.
Sticks to snakes.
Sticks
Yeah,
to snakes.
stickers.
That's very nice. That
I
is a
love that.
gorgeous
I
bad boy.
love this big
You
old
definitely
chunky
got to
box.
open that up, right? You got to look at all that shit inside there, right?
Okay.
Oh man. All right.
Schmaybe.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe.
Well, those are beautiful. Raph, have you got anything else for us this week, sir?
I do something kind of small. I found a cool YouTube channel this week that I had a fucking blast. I was gonna mention the Fatal Fury movies, but then I was like, that was my secondary. That's why I was like, you know what, you go ahead and take that. So I found this YouTube channel called Sensible Saiyan, and I'm gonna go ahead and send you guys a video here.
He's not Super Saiyan. He's a sensible Saiyan.
Yes.
He's a sensible Saiyan, and he's a smart Saiyan because this guy takes fights from Dragon Ball Z and then breaks them down blow by blow and analyzes them like an MMA fight and scores them and everything.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard.
He does it with
sounds
Dragon Ball as
fucking
well. Which
dumb. He
has,
does
you
Dragon
know,
Ball
a
as
little bit
well,
more
yeah.
Fist to fist.
It sounds fucking dumb until I started watching this 30-minute video about Goku fighting Cell, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And it reminded me that, holy fuck, Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball are both very well animated. Like
Oh,
those
yeah.
scenes where they're like fighting super fast and you see them like blurring and shit, they're actually animating those punches and kicks and blocks. Like, you're talking about how how
just
the
cutting
Fatal-
out frames, right?
right, like the Fatal Fury movie, how like you see like Terry blocking a fight, slipping a punch or whatever. You see Goku and Cell doing the same shit. It just happens so fucking fast, and he goes frame by frame. Man, I had a blast
funny.
watching this video. I posted that particular video up. I sent
So
it to you
funny.
guys on the Discord because that's the one that got me into the channel.
I'm
But
gonna
he
watch
does,
this
like-
Goku versus Krillin one from the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
This looks
he does
awesome.
Goku versus Krillin. He does Goku versus Frieza. He breaks down both fights, Goku versus Frieza, and then Super Saiyan Goku versus Frieza.
Oh,
So he has
Tien versus
managed to take-
Yamcha.
He has managed to take the already long as hell Dragon Ball fights and
Make 'em
drag them out
longer.
even longer.
Drag him out. Yeah,
That's
dude.
amazing.
And I am astounded. I mean, this guy obviously is a fighter himself. Whoever makes his channel, like he the way that he
Right.
breaks these fights down. But yeah, dude, like watching him break down the fight versus Cell, I was like, man, this is really well animated, extremely technical. Like, I'm surprised how technical that actually was. But yeah, dude, check it out. Sensible Saiyan on
The
YouTube.
breakdown.
It's
He
fucking
breaks
amazing.
it down like an MMO fight.
He
Strike
even
attempt,
scores
strikes
it.
landed, strike
Yes!
connect, 6.8%.
And he scores it and everything. The winner gets 10 points, and then the loser gets 9 or lower, depending on how badly.
That's
they
how
got
boxing
beaten.
matches work.
Yeah, sure.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's. I'm telling you, check out the channel, watch one of the videos, watch that one I sent you. That one's really impressive.
It's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
love
Yeah,
that.
dude, I had a
Would you like
blast
to?
watching this
Would you
shit.
just like to see a 2-hour fight stretched into 3 hours?
Yes, exactly.
It's like baseball.
yeah.
Guys, how many
Yeah.
Saiyans does it take to change a light bulb?
How
many?
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Hell yeah.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got him.
Mr.
But yeah, that's what I
Benacor,
got.
what
That's
else have
amazing.
you got for us this week?
The amount of autism in videos like that. These people would have 200 years ago been the ones revolutionizing medical science and
Yes.
creating the textbooks. But now, instead, they're doing a technical play-by-play on Goku versus Cell on YouTube in a
Yeah.
6-hour
Let's
series
go.
documentary. That's where we're at as a society.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh, yeah.
Right. All right. Not too terribly much this week, although I did get I did move the Switch downstairs in our house now that we're all like settled in and such. And my wife and older son are like all about Super Mario Brothers Wii now.
Nice.
Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Oh, the one that they put on the Switch, like the new
yeah,
Super
yeah,
Mario
yeah,
Brothers.
Super
Mario Brothers, yeah. The Slippy
yeah,
one.
yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I've never played that one.
It's been a lot of fun watching them play it, and we got a copy of WarioWare Move It. So
Cool.
if you've never played a WarioWare game, it's a series of micro games, and it's like a giant joke, and you have to do all these funny motions with your body anyway.
The newer ones.
That's WarioWare.
And
I
if
was
you see our
wondering if that
handheld-
one is any
Oh, sorry.
good. I would like to get that one.
I
The
might,
one for the
I might have
Switch.
this. I think I have a Switch copy if you want
Yeah.
to borrow it and try it. But like we did our handheld carousels, we talked about the Wario, the original WarioWare Inc. And then we love that game.
Yeah, we do. Well, nice.
I'll be right back. Gotta go say goodnight to the baby.
Okay, you do that while I close out the show. I'm sure that by the time I'm done doing my ad reads, he will be back. That's our show, everyone. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Watchers and listeners, Brads and Bradettes, L2s out there. Make sure to tell your friends, like and subscribe. If you are just listening, don't forget that you can watch both on YouTube and Spotify. May I suggest that you head over to YouTube anyhow and like us there, please. We do live streams on there and on Twitch, but I'm not gonna lie, our Twitch presence is not as high because I'm not streaming every day. We got real
YouTube's
lives.
doing
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, we
good.
got real lives. But yeah, you can catch me playing Baldur's Gate on Saturday. Raph's been playing spooky games on Sunday, and I think he's dabbling on playing fighting games on Friday as well. You can reach out to us at our email at gametreasurepodcast@gmail.com. Head on over to our merch store, which is inside of our Linktree, Linktree/the GTP. While you are there, you can also go to our Patreon, patreon.com/the GTP. We do not make money off of this. This is just regular people with regular jobs trying to find at least an hour a day to talk about video games, let alone spend many hours a week playing those video games, and also taking time to write notes about those video games and then taking time to edit episodes and shorts and trying to make them sound good and publish them and all these things. So it would help if you were to reach into your coffers and even donate to $1 if you found any of these episodes entertaining. And also, if you become a subscriber, you get access to our bonus content, the UFO 50 Deep Dive series, of which we are about to record episode 4 tomorrow morning. Sorry for the delay. But man, it's going to be a good one because I dipped back into that fourth line, and those are fucking good games in there. Anyhow, we want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can find music on the internet. And last but not least, we would like to thank RetroGameTreasure.com, owned and operated by the Megabuck himself. Retro Game Treasure, a subscription service that sends you, the collector, a customized box of retro video games every month. That's right. No more hunting, no more guessing, and no more wasted time. Instead, RetroGameTreasure.com subscribers select from a wide range of consoles and genres to collect for, and then those games come to you every month in a cute little box of nostalgia. They even keep track of the games that you already own, not just the games they've sent you. You can tell them the games that you already own, so they won't send them to you. You never get a repeat game. Want to start collecting for a new console? They make that particularly easy because they also have a console shop page. As Buck was saying, for example, he brought Transformers. Can you play that on your Nintendo? If you have the adapter, guess what? Buck sells it. So if you're like, I have a Nintendo And if only I had an adapter and I could start collecting Japanese Nintendo games. And then you go to Buck's store and you buy the adapter, and then you go to your page and you select I own a Famicom now. And then Buck will start sending you Famicom games in your box
Woo-hoo.
every month. And you don't have to tell him which games to send. He knows which kinds of games you like based off the genres that you tell him that you liked.
Mm-hmm.
It's a magical service, and you need to try it out at least to believe it. Start collecting games the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. Buck, do you have your list of new subscribers?
This week we welcome Mario Garduno Jr., Javier Rivera, Ross Dodas, Mike Pitaro, Sherry Gettings, Jonathan Baum, Ronald Campbell, Dale Cusack Jr., and Joseph Seymour.
Thank you guys so much for subscribing. It means a lot. Until next week, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure Podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.